What is up, boys and girls? It's your boy Lieutenant Dan back again. Are we too loud? Let me check really quick. Let me check. Are we too loud? It's a little loud. It's a tad bit too loud. I don't like that. What do I want to do? I guess I'll just kind of turn this one down. Is that better? Is that better? Tell me when it's actually better. What's going on, boys and girls? Good to see everybody in the chat. Good to see everybody in the house. We're live today, and I'm still working on the McLean video. It's taking longer than I want it to be, and I don't like that. But that's what I'm working with right now, and I might be able to finish it up before I go on the cruise this Monday. I'm going to be gone from Monday until next Friday, so it's a tad bit loud, but it's fine. Okay. Did this make it a little bit better? Let me know if that made it a little bit better. Because I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying some different stuff out today. So just give me the benefit of the doubt, you know. Yeah, it's still very loud. Still incredibly loud. How about that? Is that a little bit better? Let me check on the a little bit better. Let me check on the a little bit better. Yeah, it's still a bit loud. I'm gonna put the mic away just a little bit, and hopefully that changes the sound just a tad bit. It might be my regular gain. I'm just not sure. B1. It's all on B1. I should probably put that on A1 instead, but oh well. All right, cool. So we're taking calls tonight, and we're going to be open discussion. I'm going to be talking about some stuff from DBN, and I'm going to be talking about some stuff from Rise Up Nation and Rise Up Reader and the Falcoholic and all kinds of extra little crazy things. I'll be taking some stuff from the chat and so on and so forth. If you want me to respond to some of the stuff in the chat, please hit that donation button. And if you want to call in and express your opinion, the phone number is in the description. 712-451-0905, access code 975-097 is the access code. And if you want to call in and throw some of what you're thinking about the Julio situation, about Matt Ryan's contract, about the 2018 season, call in. Let me know what you think and give me your thoughts and opinions on that. I will try my best to make sure that I put down who calls in and who doesn't. And the more we do these calls and the more that we do these discussions and things like that, the more that I'm going to put platinum people up at the top and then everybody else down at the bottom. So the more you call in, the more that you have good discussions, the more that you have good topics, the more that you make good points, then the more that I will allow you to skip the line and kind of be able to talk first before anybody else. So like I said, the number to reach.
Welcome. This service is provided by
Oh, goodness.
freeconferencecall.com. You are the only participant in the conference.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Chill out. I think it's... Hold on. There. How about that? So, again, number to call in is 712-451-0905. Access code 975097 if you want to call in and talk some of the stuff that has been going on in the Falcons off season up from January all the way till this point now. If you have something about the draft you want to talk about, if you have something about the Julio situation, the Matt Ryan contract, the free agents, the draft picks, you let me know in the call-in service, all right? I'm going to take a sip of water very quickly and get onto some of my own thoughts about the Julio situation and what's going on right at this very moment. So, very strange little tidbit came out of nowhere that Julio Jones is out, is gone, is kabishki. And he is going to be sitting there, chilling somewhere else while OTAs are going on. But this hasn't been the first time that OTAs seem to be a skippable thing for Julio Jones. We do have our first caller, so I'm going to go ahead and unmute this caller. Give me 1 second, caller, and I'll unmute you. And then we will get to that. Let's see here. Why is it acting up? 1 second.
Q&A session has started.
And all right, cool. So 678. Who dis?
Hello.
How's it going, buddy?
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's going on? Who's this?
This is Raichu for the win, a.k.a. Christian. What's up, man?
What's going on, my man? What you got for the show today?
Man, I don't know. I just wanted to call and say what's up, Dan. It's the first time. I don't know. Just excited to, you got the new phone. I figured I'd be the first to break it in,
Hey, that's what's up. That's what's going on. Can everybody hear Raichu okay in the chat? Does everything seem to be coming through all right? Because we're kind of experimenting with this nonsense. So everybody can hear him okay? Raichu, why don't you go ahead and tell me some of the things that you're thinking about right now?
This Julio contract kind of threw me for a loop a little bit. When I heard he wanted a new contract, like, the only thing that came to my mind was him sitting out for the season. Now, I don't think it'll get that bad, but I still can't help but worry because I'm not sure how much money he wants or how much money he thinks he deserves. Now, don't get me wrong, it's Julio Jones. He deserves a lot of money. But are we in a position to do that right now? Like, it's just a very bad time, given that, Matt Ryan's contract, although not imminent, it'll come in 2 years extension, but still, like, it's something we can really afford to do.
Shoot that shot, man. Shoot that shot. Keep going. Keep going.
I don't have much. As far as the Julio contract, that's pretty much all that's pretty much it. I mean, OTA, I'm not too worried about him missing out on. To be fair, because it's voluntary. Not saying that it's nothing, but it's nothing. Honestly, I'm not too worried about that. Now, training camp sits that out, and then we got a problem. We have a huge problem, a very huge problem. And I wasn't tripping about the whole Instagram thing. He deleted his picture. I'm like, oh man, who doesn't do whatever he wants? If he wants to delete pictures on Instagram, that's none of our business. But I didn't know that'd be a potential precursor to what we're about to see now. If it gets as bad as I think it will, which I do not think, because the Falcons love Julio Jones. We all love Julio Jones. We all want to make sure he's happy, so I don't think it'll be a problem.
Right, that was Raichu for the win, coming in here with the smack knowledge. And hey, man, look, I'm with you on that 100%. I think that us blowing up about the Instagram deletion and all that nonsense, him going out and missing OTAs, talk about a new contract, shouldn't be something that we should worry about. I think it's all about Thomas Dimitroff and something that he should worry about. In fact, actually reported by Adam Schefter, the team seems willing to be giving him a contract extension. And if that is the case, ladies and gentlemen, what we're looking at is a contract that could help us ease up money for the Jake Matthews of the world, the Grady Jarrett's of the world, and so on and so forth. So, Raichu, thanks for the call in, man. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you making these live streams, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, man, take it easy. Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
That was, whoa. That was Raichu for the win. It was a hell of a good call. Love that one. It was good. Good stuff. Again, the phone lines are open. 712-451-0905. Access code 975097. If you have something to say, if you have something that you want to put down, if you have something that you want to say, hey, look, this this is what I'm thinking about this Julio thing. I want to hear your thoughts. This is what I think about this Matt Ryan contract. If you have a thought about this defensive line, about this team, your expectations about this team, let me know. I want to hear it from you guys. I want to hear all of the stuff that you are thinking right now. We're going through a little bit of process. We're checking out how to get these phone calls as accurate as we possibly can. So please be patient with us when those phone lines go up. We had our first caller, Raichu for the win. Raichu came in here with some great knowledge. We'll get it a little more smooth as we go. But anyone that wants to call in, again, the number is in the description with the access code as well. Look, man, Raichu was throwing it down, talking about how the Falcons right now are worrying about Falcons. Okay, they're not worrying about anything else. That's why we didn't go out and go get high-priced free agents. That's why we didn't go out there and make any major stud moves. We just got guys that were going to help us get to where we need to go. Again, paying the best players that we have on the team. That's why the names of Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Grady Jarrett, Jake Matthews are coming up in discussions, you know? So, again, I continue to say Falcons will continue to pay their guys. If they think that they're going to stay with the team and that they can give them a lucrative contract, they're going to do it. They're just going to do it. Kermit the Frog, good to see you in here. Let's say hi to all the peeps in the chat before we throw out that number one more time. Raichu for the win. Run IMC, Megan Noob, Terrell Powell, Falcons 2017. Cameron Engel, David Wright, George Yanez, Nicole McCrowan, Rose Staxon, Hermit Frog. Good to see all of you guys in the chat. Again, the number to call in, 712-451-0905, access code 975097. If you have something to say about the Atlanta Falcons, if you have something to say about this team, call in. Come shoot your shot. And tell me what you think about all these different topics that have been going on. I've been wanting to hear from all of you for a very long time. And trying to get this call-in service and make it as smooth as possible has been difficult. So please, I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you guys as you go through this whole situation. And all I can do is throw out what knowledge I have and come in here and be the voice of reason if I can be. Not everybody's going to agree with what I have to say, and I'm not going to agree with what everybody else is going to say. But it's going to be interesting. And if you have anything that you want to talk about outside of the Falcons 2018 season or 2018 offseason about some other team or something else that you would like to talk about NFL-wise, or you just want to say hi and call in and chat with me for a second, please do. Numbers in the description, access codes in the description, and that's what we're doing today. We're just chilling, hanging, mingling with y'all, and having a good time. We just had Raichu for the win just call in just a second ago, talk about his thoughts about Julio Jones' contract and how he missed OTAs last year, about this contract extension, how we shouldn't worry, how it could open up money for us. So please, by all means, come in, call the show, and hang out with me for just a half second of your time. We're going to take another quick water break, and definitely want to hear from everybody if you can call in. Whew. I've been hitting the water hard. And it's only because over the last couple of days I've been going out drinking with friends and family and really talking a lot of sports, blasting my voice, and getting real tough with people. So I've been trying to recover just a little bit, and it's been something, man. It really has been something. But again, the phone lines are open. They're hot. If you guys want to jump on the line and say something, give me a hot take. Give me a hot take about your team if you're not a Falcons fan. Give me a hot take about the Falcons if you are a Falcons fan. Do call in. Phone lines are open. They're lit. All of you guys. Nicole is throwing down some things in the chat right now about what do you think about other Atlanta teams and other things of that nature. Cole, why don't you call in? Phone lines are open. It's all free. But Raichu coming in here and calling just a minute ago and discussing that contract with Julio Jones. Julio Jones has 3 years left on his contract. Let's talk about that for a second. He has 3 years left on his contract, counting this year. And we can guess or pretend that Calvin Ridley was drafted to come in and be the Julio Jones replacement, or be the Sanu replacement, because we know we can't pay both of them, or potentially be the guy to start over both of those guys, that they'll both be gone in the next couple of years. We can talk about that over and over. But when it comes down to brass tacks, it's all about cap space. It's all about drafting to be preemptive. Not to draft for the now, but draft for the later. I've spoken about this a couple of times. And about how if Calvin Ridley comes in and he busts, and by busts I mean he struggles for 3 years, then there is no out between paying Julio Jones and Mohamed Sanu. You have to pay one or both in that situation. And in Calvin Ridley, if he does come out and he does play very well, then you can tip the scales a little bit from that drafted side of things and say, Calvin can replace Sanu if he's too old or that he's lost a step, or you think that Calvin can do a better job than Mohamed. The other side of the coin is that if Julio Jones gets hurt again, then what are we sitting here doing? We're twiddling our thumbs. And Calvin Ridley would have to come in and be the guy. Can Calvin Ridley be the guy? That's the real question. We haven't seen him play yet. We've seen him in college, but that's against college corners. We're talking about NFL caliber corners, NFL caliber safeties, NFL caliber linebackers, because that can even be put into the situation. In that same vein, we saw a Luke Kuechly go up against a Julio Jones, and had Julio Jones not had mad jumps and major length and height, then that would have been an interception by Luke Kuechly, Huge donation by Mega Noob here with the question, will we see more of Pastor this year instead of Sambrailo? And is he an upgrade? If so, Sanat's role, what will it be now when we sign McLean? So, a couple of little things there. Number one, Pastor has always been a security blanket pick. That pickup was more or less, he wasn't drafted, but I'm saying that more or less picking up Pastor as a security blanket and putting him as another layer in this line. I don't think it's the worst thing in the entire world, but again, it couldn't be helped. Sambrailo, Pastor, It'll flip-flop back and forth, but I would not be too surprised if we don't see really either. They're just back there kind of being that added depth. Both guys are good. Both guys are solid. But neither one of them are crazy out of this world. Going to replace Jake Matthews, going to replace Ryan Schrader type guys. Neither one of these guys are going to come in and start for 5 years. They're going to come in and they're going to, play for a couple of games. That's the whole reason why they were brought in. Both of those guys were brought in for that particular reason. Now with Sanat, with McLean coming in, and this is part of my video, I don't want to put too many spoilers out, but with Sanat, watching McLean get brought in. McLean is on a 1-year deal. This is the guy that I thought Crawford was going to be. McLean comes in. I thought Crawford was going to come in and play for 1 or 2 years as the starting snaps guy, and then let Sanat come in and be the guy. And then we sign McLean. And so McLean will come in for the majority of the Sanat snaps and let Sanat come in every once in a while. I don't think Sanat gets starter reps, but I do think that he has the potential to eventually eclipse a guy like a Shelby or a McLean or a Crawford for 3 tech and 1 tech snaps. But we will most likely see Grady Jarrett, Chad Crawford, and McLean being the guys that are going to get the girth of the snaps, the most of the snaps. And that's where I'm putting my money. That's where I'm going to put my money. Because I'm not going to put my money on Sanat. I know Dan Quinn likes to play his rookies. I know Dan Quinn likes to play his rookies. And play his guys more than playing veterans on the cheap. But we played Dontari Poe in a lot of our snaps last year. Would not be surprised if a healthy Crawford and a healthy, very productive McLean get the majority of the snaps in base package, or get those nickel looks while Sanat sits on the back burner and learns and grows and matures and gets his weight in the right area and adds muscle and kind of goes through the rhythm of an NFL season. Will there be a great rotation there? Of course. You've got 3 guys right now that I truly believe can be rotated at any point, and 2 guys that I believe in Crawford and in McLean who can come in and rotate for Grady Jarrett. So that leaves plenty of snaps. Plenty of snaps and a very solid rotation to be able to go in there. And that's not even talking about the potential of undrafted free agents or a guy like Derek Shelby to get some snaps in that area, depending on injuries, depending on the team we're playing, depending on the formation of the formation that we have to play on against the offense that we're having to play again. That is where I sit. Again, if you guys want to comment on anything that I have as far as a topic or a talking point or anything that you've been wanting to get off your chest as a Falcons fan, or not as a Falcons fan, as somebody that has wanted to just discuss something that has kind of been burning with you, or you have a hot take for this year, number to dial in, 712-451-0905, access code 975097. You can call into the show and you can have your hot take or your 2 cents put into this. I would love it. That would be a lot of fun, and I would love to hear from you. Several people in there talking about a couple of things, Falcons related, not Falcons related. We got some NBA playoff stuff coming up soon. And we're in the heat right now of undrafted free agent rookies and 1 year or 2 year guys or 3 year guys kind of sitting on the back burner from other teams getting cut, making room for younger guys who potentially could come in and start for any team. We're in that type of year, that point in the year, in the season, where it's going to get quiet. It's going to get real quiet. It's going to get to a point where people are going to be so hungry for football. And over these next couple of months, and I am pretty sure that it is going to happen, over these next couple of months, we're going to have to invest ourselves into some other sports to get over this. Now again, my 2 cents. But we're talking about there's soccer, there's the end of the NBA Finals, there's the end of the Stanley Cup, there's the World Cup coming up, there is mini camps and OTAs, and finally training camps in July and August, and boom, then we're back into football season again. I'm taking a couple trips here and there in between it, so I'm pretty sure the off season, if you want to say that, the off season will go by very quickly for me. For those of you with the 9 to 5 and whatnot, y'all will be sitting at the desks going, please, Lord Jesus, please get it done. We're going to go into Dirty Bird Nation really quick, and we're going to read some of the stuff. Remember, phone line is open. Dude on DBN. You know what? Should I say the names of the people that are on DBN that I'm taking the topics from, or should I just leave it alone? You guys in the chat tell me. The first one I'll just do anonymous, but then everyone else, if you guys say that we should, if we should go in there and say the name of the people, then let me know. We will do that. But the first one I'll do anonymous. Anonymous says, so in your opinion, how is that trade that we made to get Julio looking? And here's my take on that. So he's talking about our initial trade to go get. What if you got a call from your phone carrier? What do you mean? Would you talk to him about the Falcons? I don't know. Maybe. So the whole Julio Jones trade, I've said, was the most productive trade for the Atlanta Falcons to become more explosive, to get a franchise player on offense that could be someone we could lean on, outside of obviously Matt Ryan. And then everything else it was a different team at a different time for us trying to grow and mature as a team. Did it work out? I mean, what's your definition of it worked out? Or what's your definition of it was a success or a failure with Julio Jones? That is up to interpretation from person to person, and it's tough. Did he get a lot of touchdowns? Did he get a lot of yards? Yeah. Did he lead the team and make it better? True. Yes, those are things that happened. But did he bring us any championships? No. Did he? I mean, you can count an NFC championship from Julio Jones. I mean, I guess that is something that he did. He helped during that time. But again, this comes down to, interpretation. This comes down to what were your expectations about Julio Jones when he came into the league, that he was just going to burn everybody and light it on fire, or he was going to be a solid acquisition. Again, it's it's a little tough. It's a little tough. So, I'm not one to say that one running back or one wide receiver or one tight end is going to make the difference over a quarterback or a franchise defensive player or... Yeah, okay, so for some reason it disconnected and then connected back again. So, strange stuff happening around here. But again, the call-in number, 712-451-0905, access code 975097. If you want to discuss football with me, or you want to call in and get something off your chest, this Julio Jones thing, everybody's going completely bananas, and I don't know why, because everybody's, oh no, we can't afford him, oh no, we can't give him money. The team is willing to consider giving him a new contract and opening up more money, and be able to get a replacement. So I am not of the crowd or the group that is up against Julio Jones or saying that he doesn't deserve the cash, okay? I know we just paid Matt Ryan mega money, but I think a lot of people in here are throwing it way out of proportion. When anyone brings up money, it always, for some reason, freaks people out. And that's maybe just because they're insecure about their own money and they don't want to see other people spending lots of money. I don't know. Trey Crawford 28 minutes ago said that Matt Ryan threw for 4,500 yards with Harry Douglas on the outside. Hashtag pay Julio more for what? Yeah, while that is one way to look at it, there's also another way to look at it. Julio Jones was hurt during that year, and Matt Ryan was forced to do what he needs to do. So I guess really the biggest thing there is that with Julio, that makes Matt Ryan better. But if Matt Ryan's put in a situation that he, doesn't have great wide receivers, he apparently can get away with still throwing for almost 5,000 yards. So for me, that is like that's a terrible attempt at making Julio Jones look bad. Again, it's my opinion. Terry Wheat Jr. says, are the same people that were screaming for Matt to take a discount now telling Julio to get as much as he can? Man, this group. DBN seems to be the only group that I go in there and go, oh, you. To every single post. Even the good posters in there seem to make me go, all right, sure. Let's go to the next one. Let's just go on. Kevin Benton, an hour ago, goes, my Dirty Birds, please forgive me, but it will be nice to get T.O. He been putting in the work. No, why? Why are we bringing up Terrell Owens? The man is old. He's putting in work. I see him on ESPN. Bruh. You're watching ESPN? Number one, you're watching ESPN. What? Number two, you're bringing up Terrell Owens now that Julio's asking for a new contract, and you're even comparing Julio to Owens? Wow. Yeah. Anybody want to call in and want to do the comparison on Terrell Owens and Julio Jones? Say who's better and who's worse? Access code and call-in number is in the description of the video. Let me know. We're gonna keep scrolling down. Saricha Smith goes, also, I believe Julio is only asking for more money because we drafted Ridley. I'm just saying. Man, are we really getting into this? Well, he's asking for more money because he wants to know that we still believe in Julio. What? What? Like, the team will get to that point when they get to that point. And you're asking for you're expecting, not asking, we haven't gotten the asking yet. You're expecting a new contract. What? Like, okay, you're expecting a new contract. That doesn't mean we have to sign you this year or next year. We could wait 2 years from now on your third and final year of your contract and go, all right, we want to re-up for this many years. Look, it's just not that big of a deal. It just really isn't. And people going, again, insurance policy Calvin Ridley. You can believe that if you like, and I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I am going to go out there and say that's just a little bit of a reach, don't you think? Don't you know? It's just a little taxing. It's just a little taxing when we get into that point, But hey, that's just me. Again, phone number's in the description if you guys want to call into the show. If Julio wants more money, give it to him. The man deserves every penny, from Miles Majors. I mean, does he deserve every penny? He deserves plenty of pennies. But does he need to go out there and clamp the team down? No. But is Thomas Dimitroff very smart with his money? Yes. So, I mean, really, goodness grief. Now, here we go. No Nay Jackson says, I hope he hasn't started smelling himself. He's a great talent, and I want him on my squad, but we need to fix some shit. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there because this is a very long thing that he just wrote, but he goes, we need to fix some shit. What do we need to fix? You talking about the offensive line? Well, we did grab pieces for that already. Or are you talking about Grady Jarrett or Jake Matthews? You talking about other contracts before the Julio Jones contract? I can get where you're coming from there. But again, it's not out of the realm of possibility to say Julio Jones means more to the Falcons than, say, Jake Matthews or, say, that, Tevin Coleman or, Ricardo Allen or Grady Jarrett or, maybe he's more on top of the list. But let's keep going, right? Let's keep going for just a second more. Elite receivers put the ball in the end zone. No excuses. Okay, scratching my head just a little bit. All right. 1 year with 10 or more TDs. Elite receivers don't check out of the game on third downs. Elite receivers are available for all 16 games consistently. Okay. Bottom line, he's only 2 years into a 5-year contract. Play effing ball. You're gonna want another one in 2 years. Get the heck out. Right. There's so much wrong with that. There's so much wrong with that because injuries pile up. So I can't say elite wide receivers. First of all, you just use the word elite, which is not used on my show, by the way. Elite. Elite wide receivers don't exist. There are only top-end wide receivers and everything else. Elite wide receivers. Let's just use his terminology for just a second. Elite wide receivers stay on the field consistently. I don't. People get nicked up, man. People get banged up. So they're supposed to be robots. Like, that's when that term will go away. Apparently, is that if they don't get hurt because they're robots, then they're elite. What? Multiple touchdowns in multiple seasons. They get into the end zone all the time. That's not true either. That's a fallacy. Just what? And then he also throws out that they put the ball in the end zone. Oh my goodness. Isn't it the quarterback that puts the wide receivers in position to be able to make plays and not vice versa? Like, isn't that the saying for quarterbacks when we're dissecting them, that they throw open wide receivers and put them in good positions? Now, wide receivers do help in their part and make themselves open to make it easier for the QB, but isn't it really more on the QB's shoulders and the offensive play caller to get them the right calls and routes to be able to put them in the right place? Just my 2 cents, maybe. Just you're 2 years into a 5-year contract and you want to re-up on a new contract. Maybe that helps the Falcons in their favor free up money. But, I mean, come on. Ricky Brown, Julio tripping. Okay, whatever. They say Julio wants a contract update. Some dude goes a long-ass joke. I'm not even getting into it. Just a lot of people going into this whole Julio thing like they are the GM and they're gonna say no. Like, that's hilarious. Just absolutely. So, somebody call in, please, and tell me your 2 cents on this topic. In the description of this video is the code and the phone number. I'm gonna go and quickly turn on a light. So, Right Shoe for the Win goes, a lot of people see NFL players by their overall on Madden. Oof. Goodness grief. Watkins and Landry should not be getting paid more than Julio. Inflation. Incredible inflation, which, it comes from bad teams having enough money to be able to pay these players that amount of money. And it is, I wouldn't say that it is because of those teams, just because of those teams is this inflation of the market. It also has to do with other quality teams not picking up the options of the players that they obviously know are top tier players and investing their money badly. It's just as bad, or just as much as a fault for the bad teams overpaying players and saturating the market and making it worse, but also as bad as the teams that had those players go out there and not pay their top end players, allowing them to hit the market or trading them away because they've managed their money poorly. So, in my opinion, you know, you're going out there and you're paying players what they're worth, right? And if a player, whether it be a quarterback or wide receiver or running back, or let's just talk running backs and wide receivers for just a second, because we can talk about that kind of setup. They're in that same league or in that same tier of the pyramid. If quarterbacks are the top of the pyramid, the next is number one running backs, and franchise players like one franchise wide receiver and corners. When you put those together, you know, and you're talking about the value of a player. Again, phone number in the description, access code 975097. Call in and tell me what you think about Julio's potential contract. Nicole, you have a good night. Peace out. If you guys put those guys together and you talk about contract negotiations and you talk about teams paying their players properly, you look at it and you go, yes, well, you can go into the draft or you can go into free agency and see there's a bazillion wide receivers out there. 90% of them are backups. And that hurts everyone else out here, because they're all going to get overpaid. Because some team that let them go didn't pay them their minimal contract. So one of those guys is going to stand out of the 90 percentile. One of those guys is going to stand out and is going to get paid megabucks, which is going to drive up the value for the bigger wide receivers that actually deserve the money. Again, just as bad a mistake of the good teams not paying players as the bad teams having money to pay those players and overpaying them and making the market explode. You know what I'm saying? So people are transitioning from some football talk to some Pokemon talk. So we can get into that if that is something that you want to call into the show and talk about Pokemon. But again, phone lines are open. Anyone that wants to call in, I'll stay lit for another 15 minutes. And we can discuss what you guys want to discuss about the Falcons, about Julio, about whatever. And then I might go live again, playing some video games or something like that on here, or elsewhere. Do I have any info about the undrafted tight end out of Boise State? I don't have any info up to date, as in, like, I don't have any info on a breakdown of him, because there's just not a lot of tape on him. But, again, people say that they like him. I just can't be bothered too much by the whole, tight end's coming in and he's going to beat out who. Like, our tight end depth is pretty bad. So I can only expect good things. And the other insider information about this undrafted tight end is that he's a bit slower. He's got good hands, but he went undrafted for a reason. Can the Falcons turn him around and turn him into somebody? Possibly. It can be done. It can be done. So that's kind of where I'm sitting now. Again, phone lines are going to stay open for just a few more minutes. So if you want to call in now. Lay it out on the line. Tell me what you think about this Julio thing. Tell me what you think about the Matt Ryan contract. Tell me about your expectations about the Falcons in 2018. What you want them to do. Where you think they will go. Hit me up on there. Hit me up on there. Got to hit that again. I keep hitting the water pretty hard because I went way hard in the paint the last couple of days. So Raichu comes in and says, will my Alex Gray transition to fullback prediction come true or be proven true? There's a possibility, but Alex Gray is still on that extras list right now, so I'm not sure how they want to use him. I did make a prediction that he would move to fullback or he would move to tight end, but we'll see. If he can play some special teams for us, that would be solid. That would be a great addition to the Atlanta Falcons, is another solid special teamers, because I just recently rewatched the Rams playoff game from last year. Just rewatched it today, put it on condensed mode, very little time in between plays, just watching things go. And I've got a hot take, actually, that, and there's plenty of people that actually believe this, and call in and tell me that you think I'm wrong. But Devontae Freeman in that game, he had some great plays. But when we weren't subbing Coleman and Freeman out like constantly, and when we only had Freeman in or we only had Coleman in, super unproductive for Freeman. Like, only when Freeman was in, bad move. But when we were countering it, going back and forth between Coleman, Freeman, Freeman would break tackles and get 20, 30-yard runs. And Coleman would hit the hole and get us those a 4-yard run, a 6-yard run, a 5-yard run, a 7-yard run, a 4-yard run, and was constantly moving the ball. But when Coleman was in all on his own, Coleman was dominating. And so my hot take is that I feel that if Freeman doesn't do particularly well in this season, he does solid, but he doesn't do out of my mind amazing, and Coleman still plays the same level that he has been playing for the last couple of years, then I predict, and my hot take is that we re-sign Tevin Coleman, and eventually Tevin Coleman, by 2020, takes over the starter position. And if you don't agree with that, don't hit me up in the chat, call the show. If you don't believe that, and you have your own hot take about the Falcons, call the show. Let me know. Hit me up. Also, I am not in that same vein of the people that are out there that their one reason why Tevin Coleman will take over is because Freeman has injury problems. Yes, Freeman has had some problems with concussions, but so has Tevin Coleman too. Tevin Coleman has had 1 or 2 concussions now. Freeman has had like 3 or 4. So it's not, I know the difference between 3 and 4 concussions and 1 or 2 concussions is so different, But I'm not going to go out there and, knock on wood and say to all of y'all that the reason why Tevin Coleman should stick around is because Freeman will get hurt at some point and Coleman will have to come in. No. I'm more up into this. Tevin Coleman is just a better running back than Devontae Freeman. Now, again, Tevin Coleman's better at running to the outside and Devontae Freeman's better at running in the inside. It's just straight up, that's the facts. And Tevin Coleman can get you, again, like I said, 4 yards, 7 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards, 4 yards, 8 yards, 3 yards. He'll just keep churning. He'll keep churning if you try to force him to the inside. But again, he seems to be the guy that can take on multiple loads. And it's funny how Ito Smith is very Freeman-like. And Freeman only has about 3 years or 4 years left in his contract, and by 2020, the Falcons actually can pull the trigger on cutting Devontae Freeman. And let me pull this up. Let me pull this up while I still have the phone service open. Once we get to an hour on here, I'm gonna shut the phone service down, make a couple of other things that I want to talk about. If you want to talk about wrestling, anime, Falcons, one of your own teams, if you're not a Falcons fan, call in. Tell me what you thought of your draft. Tell me what you thought of your offseason. And let me know. Here we're going to look at yeah, let's see how old Devontae Freeman will be by 2020. He'll be 28 years old. Is 28 too young to let Freeman go? Let's say 2018, he has a solid season as the 1A and goes out there and plays very well. But again, Coleman still plays at the top of his game. And then by 2019, Freeman turning 27. Yeah, he turns 27. So he'll be my age this year in 2019. Freeman will go out there and he'll run and he'll do his thing. And he's still, maybe he has an injury or two in 2018. Maybe he has an injury or two in 2019. Do you pull the trigger and say, okay, Ito Smith has been sitting behind Tevin Coleman. Coleman has been running very well. We paid Coleman on a 5-year contract, such and such millions. And 2020, we're going to go ahead and trade or release Devontae Freeman for, it's not a terrible set of millions that you release him or you trade him. You actually get a lot of money back for 2020 and 2021. And the rest of that contract doesn't count against you. Running with Coleman and running with Ito Smith seems about the same in my opinion, because Ito has great vision, Freeman has great vision. I don't know about Ito in the NFL because I can probably tell you 2018, 2019, he's going to be running a bunch. But I know what we got in Tevin Coleman, and I know that we can run with Tevin Coleman as the 2A, So I'm very optimistic about that. And I wouldn't be too surprised if it did happen. But, what else? It is what it is. Hey, Falcon 2017, as Bill Belichick would say, hey, trade a player a year early than a year too late. I mean, what if Ito Smith can become our Saints, become our Alvin Kamara? It would be interesting. It'd be interesting. It would be interesting if Ito Smith comes out there as the Kamara for our team, and Tevin Coleman comes in as the lead back, and you switch between those two. Both are very good at catching the ball. Both can be used very well in screens. Both can be used, if they get a lead block, they will find a hole and they will just gash you. If Freeman seems to be the one slowing down a little bit and he doesn't have an amazing year in 2018, or it's just a solid year in 2018, and he seems to have another solid year, then you could just let him go. You could cut him. You could trade him for some acquisition outside of the NFC. Trade him to an AFC team that needs, a lead back or someone who could fight for that lead back position somewhere. You could trade him to the Bills if Shady ever does decide to leave. You could trade him to San Diego, or you could trade him to Denver, and he could be very, very productive there. But again, up to interpretation. I'm going to leave the phone lines open for 4 more minutes. So for 4 minutes, if you want to call in and you want to talk about anything that we talked about on the show, you have any thoughts about the Falcons going on, phone lines are open. Number to call is 712-451-0905, and the access code 975097. Call me in here. Free to call. Let me know what your thoughts are, and we'll put you on the show, because that's how we roll in here. And if you're not a Falcons fan, please call and let me know what your team has done, why you believe that they will be successful. Because After this, I'm going to call up Vach Lombardi and be like, hey, you want to do a show? Oh, Rizzy, what's going on? Good to see you in the chat. We've got lines open for you to call if you want to call into the show. So, let's see here. So, again, going back through, I'm not going to see anything different in DB, and they're all talking about Julio's contract and blah, 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 and all. And the same stuff over and over. Chris Hall makes a very interesting a point here. He goes, with Sark as OC, and without a whole offseason to alter the playbook, we're 8-8 without Julio. Is that true? You guys believe that in the chat? Do you believe that the Falcons could be an 8-8 team without Julio Jones and without being able to alter the playbook an entire year to exclude Julio Jones and have to put Sanu or Hardy or Calvin Ridley into the lead role? Very interesting thought right there. And I think that might be it. I think that might be the case for, hey, pay Julio. You know, like let's look at the Julio Jones contract. Let's take a very quick look at Julio Jones. What is he making this year? He's making $12 million this year. Let's look at this contract really quick, because you know that wide receiver market is going to keep getting bigger and bigger. So let's look at this. Let's look at this Julio Jones contract. He's making $12 million this year, $14 million next year, and then $11 million in 2020. Then he's an undrafted free agent, or excuse me, he's unrestricted free agent. I'm still thinking about draftees right now, so I've got mixed words. But we're looking at 3 years left with Julio. The potential out for Julio, you'll free up $47 million or something like that, and $4.8 million in dead cap if we were to cut him or trade him this year. Let's see. It would be a post June 1st release. If we released him, we'd have $10 million in cap savings, but we'd have $2 million in dead cap. And then if we traded him, it'd be about the same. So that's terrible. I do agree with that, but the record would actually be 6-10. David Wright going in hard. David Wright goes in hard, fam. Earth go hard. Earth go hard. Muto? Oh boy. Somebody talking about Muto and a bunch of other stuff. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. So, we are at the last few minutes here of the in-call service shutting down. And we have discussed a lot today. We had one caller today call in, Raichu for the win. Came in with some, oh my goodness, thank goodness I was the first ever caller in here. That means Raichu for the win is going to get the special treatment. He's put on the platinum caller list. List. And I'll put that number down. But we've been discussing some stuff here or there, trying to call in and also discussing the Julio and the Matt Ryan stuff and all the other little things that have been going on. And we've had a little fun in here talking about that kind of stuff. And this call option will be open for you guys to call in and discuss, and anything that you guys want to talk about the Atlanta Falcons, it will be open to you. So if you guys actually do have discussion points, you're more than welcome at any of my shows from now on to come and call into the show. I think that'll be a lot of fun. David Wright goes in and says, Falcons fan 408, Takk McKinley will get 10.5 sacks, and Vic Beasley will have 14. That's bold, but I like it. You know what? Falcons fan 408, I'm with you. That's bold. It's a bold move. Quite a bold move. So I'm going to go ahead and shut down the calls for today. And I appreciate our caller for calling in today and chilling with us. It's a lot of fun. I think Takk will end up having more sacks than Beasley. Damn. It could definitely be true. It could definitely be true. I want to thank everybody for calling in and chilling with me. We're gonna have more call-ins throughout the week. We're gonna do another show tomorrow. So if you get the urge to call into the show, definitely do. I definitely wanted to discuss more Falcons football with you guys and get your thoughts, because we've had thoughts here or there in the comment section, but I want to hear you guys tell me your hot takes and give me your calls and really tell me what's on your mind, So, but thank you for calling in, guys. Thank you for chatting with me. Thank you for listening to the show today. You can find me on UNGR_show on Twitter and on Instagram. You can also support the channel by directly supporting the channel on Patreon or going to the PayPal in the description of the video. You can also hit us up by just not... Clay goes, no, I missed it. You should have got in, man. You should have got in. We had the phone lines up to call the show, so... you can also hit up the advertisements. If you see one, you can click one, or if you watch one, you help this channel be able to make a little bit of revenue, and I really appreciate that. That's a way that you can indirectly help the channel keep its monetization and continue to grow. I got light bills to pay and, electricity, water, and all that, and I use this as one of my part-time jobs, so I really appreciate all of you guys helping me be able to do that. It's been a lot of fun. But y'all take it easy peasy and fleazy. Description in the, link in the description of the video gaming service that I use that I'm actually going to go play some video games on right now. Okay. So in about 2 minutes, I'm going to be turning on mixer.com/GodyRamsam, and you guys can come in there and discuss more Falcons football with me, or just hang out and watch my stream and chill out with me and talk about all kinds of stuff because today is a hangout and chill day. Monday through Friday of next week, I will not be in town, nor will I be doing any streaming or new videos. I will be putting out the McLean video by tomorrow. It's had to get pushed up because of the particular types of plays and the particular type of quality that I wanted to give you guys. So y'all take it easy, and I will talk to you guys later. Rise up, peace out, grease out. You're listening to nothing but the facts of the truth from Lieutenant Dan here at Unintentional Grounding. Peace out.